What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about the North West Division this time, and we're going to go from the fifth all the way up to first, and who I think is going to win this division. And not only that, I'm going to give you reasons of why I picked the particular order and how I think it will be finished. Obviously, this is a prediction, so it's all for fun, as trades and injuries and stuff like that. It's not obviously done at this point when the video is being made. So this is just, for fun for people that want to know, and it is also to give y'all something fresh and good and something different than what I usually do. Um, Number five, Oklahoma City. I just feel like compared to these other teams, they just don't have enough talent. They just don't have enough scoring. Even though when I watch their games, they don't look that bad. They don't look terrible. And at the same time, I don't have a problem with the fact that they did gut their roster so that they can rebuild, even though they've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. And they have finally lost Russ, KD, and also Harden, now Chris Paul, and Paul George and Carmelo. They have Shea Gilgeous and some young players that's very, very interesting. And if I had to be honest, they are a team I want to keep an eye on. I am a guy that likes Theo. I want to see what Pokashevsky becomes years from now. I really want to see Shea Gilgeous' creation and ability to get his own shot, but also trust his teammates and set up others. It's going to be tough for him as they're going to do a lot of losing this year compared to the first year that he was there. But it's all part of the growing pains and the process of being in the NBA. Sometimes you're in situations you don't want to be in. Sometimes you're in situations where you can thrive, and sometimes you're just in situations where you have to deal with what it is at this point, and that's where Shea is at. But he has a lot of guys that have high upside and high potential, but that comes with a cost of losing a lot early because those guys are just not ready to produce at the highest level right now because they're young or they're not going to be there long term anyway. Like a Al Horford, who will definitely be going within the next 1 or 2 years. And then, you're just going to have to find somebody that replaces him that can be there long term to grow with Shade and the rest of these young players that they currently have on this roster. But it is interesting to see how competitive they are these first couple games and to see that they actually have belief that they can compete with anybody. And that's something that you want your young players to have. And I feel like Oklahoma City has been doing that, and even though it looks like they don't have a name. So on paper, they still have been playing like they are a decent to good team, which is the habits that you want to have if you're a coach, and that's what you want them to be. So I want to see what happens with them in the future. Minnesota is all going to go down to D'Angelo Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns, the two all-star caliber players that wanted to play with each other, that felt like they can be good together as a duo. And we can now see D'Angelo Russell as a 20-point scorer, a decent playmaker, and a guy that can really be aggressive when it comes to scoring the ball. While Towns is a guy that's more relaxed and calm, but is one of the greatest offensive players we've seen at the center position with his ability to post up, hit free throws, hit mid-range, hit threes, and also hit push shots from time to time. It's nothing that he can't do besides be an excellent passer, and that's the next part of his game he needs to work on and become an elite at. But he's not that bad at that either. But it's all really about this team not being able to defend and just not having enough talent at the end of the day to be a playoff team, and that's why I have them fourth. But they're going to be interesting to watch just because they have young guys that can potentially become something decent or something all-star caliber, whether it's Malik Beasley or Anthony Edwards or guys like Culver and Okogie. They have to figure out who's going to be their guard of the future and who's going to be their forward of the future, whether if they got to trade those guys or find that guy in a draft. So we'll see how they continue to build this team. Having guys like Ricky Rubio and other guys on this team makes them deeper, makes them have talent that they haven't really had in a while. But does that make them great? Does that make them a playoff team? That's something that we'll have to see in the future because I just don't see them doing it currently right now. But other than that, they have a competitive roster. They have two guys that can get you 20 at their position. but they still lack in a lot of other areas as a team and as a unit, and that's why I think they will fall short ultimately at the end of the day. Now, the teams that I do have making the playoffs and being in the top three in this division is Utah, having two All Stars and Donovan Mitchell and Gobert. They have one of the best centers in the league and one of the best guards in the league. Absolutely unstoppable in the pick and roll, especially when Gobert is hitting his push shot and finishing around the rim, and Donovan Mitchell hitting the shots from the outside. I always say his playmaking, his shooting is going to really determine how great Donovan Mitchell can be. We know he can get 20 points. We know he can get to the basket, but he's going to have to be able to knock down that three and that mid range consistently if he wants to be a dangerous scorer like he was in the bubble. But that's the toughest thing for him is the consistent shooting, as he already started this season being hot and cold and inconsistent still from that area and from those parts on the floor. So once he figured that out, and once he had that confidence like he had in the bubble, Donovan Mitchell can easily be a 25 to 30 point scorer given the opportunity and given the, the time that he actually can get it done. Other than that, I always had love for Donovan Mitchell. When he was a rookie, I voted for him for Rookie of the Year, and I always felt that Gobert was the best defensive player in the league for the last 3 years. Even though he only got two Defensive Player of the Year instead of three, I still felt like in the bubble he showed that he was just as good, if not better, than Giannis at the defensive end. Even though they fell short and lost in the first round, I feel like at the end of the day they just lack another wing or another piece if they really want to be contenders in the West. They are going to be a great team in the West. They're just not going to be a championship contender in the West as currently constructed. I think that's something that we can all agree on. But at the same time, they still is a good team. They still play well together. They still play well off of each other. And I think at the end of the day, that's something that, we have to see them continue to play out in the future if they want to get over the hump. They're a piece short, and we'll see if they eventually get that piece. But right now, I have them in the playoffs, and I have them number third. And I think Portland are just a little bit better. I feel like they have their wing in Covington. I think they have a good bench too. I think they have Dame and CJ, which is a good duo that plays well off of each other and really can complement each other game and also, help their teammates get easy shots and easy opportunity, especially because they can shoot and create. Dame has already shown that he's a 30-point scorer, averaged 30 last year, and also was able to keep his teammates involved and trust them with the 8 assists last year. He's going to have to continue doing that if this team is going to be a contender in the West, which I don't see them as. But with Nurkic being fully healthy and them upgrading their roster to a certain extent, I think that they'll be a lot better this year than they was last year, and they won't be having to play in to get a playoff spot. They should already be there by the time the season is over if they can stay healthy. And if they can stay healthy, they're going to be a tough team to defend, and they're going to be a team that's going to continue to come at you. You're just going to have to go out there and beat them, and teams have competed with them. Teams have shown that they're not scared of them. But you can say the same for the Blazers when they're going against anybody, as they just beat the Lakers. So I expect them to be good. I expect them to be in the playoffs, and I do expect them finishing second in this conference. And other than that, we'll see what happens with them. And number one, I have Denver. They got off to a rocky start, but they're starting to get it figured out as they really depend a lot on Jamal Murray and Jokic. We know that Jokic is one of the top 10 players in the league. He's the best center, in my personal opinion, in the league. And with that being said, at the end of the day, we're going to have to see how he continues to hold up health wise and if he can carry the load for 72 games, as he's already a double digit assist and a double digit rebound getter, and also a guy that can get you 20 points and can score from mid range, from three, from floater, even posting up, just like Towns. He's a better passer. Other than that, Jamal Murray is the biggest key. Can he continually be aggressive and knock down shots, but also finding and looking for teammates? And if he can get you 20 points and 5 to 7 assists, this team could be very tough to defend and tough to guard once they playing well off their two dominant players in Jamal Murray and Jokic. Other than that, Michael Porter Jr. is going to be a double-digit scorer for them. He's going to be a good rebounder for them, and he's going to be able to put the ball in the basket. From some nights, he's going to get you 20 plus, and some nights he's going to get you 15 to 20. And now it's just about him becoming more comfortable, becoming a better defender, and becoming more aggressive when it comes to scoring the ball, even though we know he's not shy to let it fly. And then it's just about getting more deeper. I feel like they lost a lot of talent these last 2 years because they couldn't afford to pay them, or those guys just wasn't a part of their plans, and now they're kind of losing a lot of the chances to be a championship team compared to what we thought they would be 2 years ago. I think they took a step back talent wise. I think they took a step back as a team, and I still think they'd be good enough to win this division like they have been able to do. But I also do not see them as a legitimate contender this season, but I do see them as being a top team in the West and losing in the first or the second round because the West, honestly, is just that good. Other than that, thanks for watching. Check out my website at analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody likes on Facebook. You can also buy merchandise on my Facebook page. You can find shirts and also hats. You can change the color of the logo, change the color of the hat in the shirt. Also customize the hat or the shirt the way you want it to be. Message me and I can get it shipped out to you. So support that. Also, you can find merchandise exclusively on my Spreadshirt. That will also be in the description. That will also be in the comment section below. And thanks for everybody that wants to support. But if you don't want to support the channel by buying merchandise, you can also support the channel by liking and sharing. Liking and sharing allows the channel to be reached by more people and more people to see the videos, and that helps the channel grow. Not only that, you can catch a video every single day if you subscribe, and I have content from breakdowns of legends, players, rookies, summer league coverage, summer league breakdowns, top 10 lists, free agency, discussions of the hottest topics, free agency, playoff predictions, season previews. And if you love content like that each and every day, I have you covered. Feel free to comment your list, what you agree and disagree with. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm going to enjoy y'all.